Well, hello, my beautiful Aries. Welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with your singles love reading for mid-April right through to mid-May 2025. I've already cleansed your space and I've meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares, and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about, pretending to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings and I will never reach out to you personally to offer one. Also, I will never ask you for money, e-gifts, or donations. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. I'm going to cleanse your space hourly, so please be mindful. There's going to be 3 loud sounds. Let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Aries, this is your singles love reading. I'm going to get your overarching energy first and then follow it with a Celtic cross just to see who's coming in towards you. So let us begin. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Aries? What do they need to know regarding their love life at this time? Can you please show them the way? What do they need to be aware of? Who is coming towards them? Can you please highlight what my beautiful Aries need to know at this time for their highest good? The first card we have there is the Child, and the second is the Stork. Okay, so there is an energy here of a new beginning. That's what I see there, but this is about you embracing your playful side, because of course, Aries, you're always connected to the Fool card energy, and that Child, and I will show you that card in a moment, the Child is connected to the Fool card. So this can indicate it's a time of joy, having fun, opening yourself up to things that basically make you feel free and happy. I do see that you have been waiting for a while for love, but I also see that you've been transforming your life. So you haven't been just like sitting by the window darning your socks at night waiting for love to pass by. I do see that you're definitely, getting involved in your life in some way and trying to transform. Now, I was going to say this and I didn't, and I'm kind of kicking myself that I didn't, but I hope the camera picked it up. When I started your reading, I thought I heard like a little child giggle. Random, I know, but I hope it got caught on the camera. It was really like, I don't know what that was. So it just reminded me as I was starting your reading of a child giggling. Okay, so I'm not really sure why it's come up there, but the fact that you actually got the Child as your first card, I feel this is, an indication for you to basically embrace things that make you laugh, feel joy, follow your passions. This is your protagonist energy, okay? So with a lot of love and respect, I'll disconnect from that energy, but I feel there's a playful spirit around you, not in a weird way, but in a really kind of like productive way, trying to guide you towards love. That's the energy that I got from the sound. So it may not have been caught on camera and therefore you can dismiss this, but I heard it. I'm clairaudient, so sometimes, what I hear, other people cannot hear, but I'm really hoping it got caught on camera. But anyway, let's move on from that. We have number 13. This is definitely a change energy. So, the Fool card is about new beginnings, but it can also be that you've been in a period of really processing your path. You've been focusing on the things that you want to show up in your life, manifesting, for example, but it can also indicate that you've been purifying. So whatever you've experienced on your journey, you could be healing aspects, especially some of you could be looking at childhood wounding, for example. This is a period of you being in review when you have this card. It can be that you're going back to the start. You're really looking at what influenced you when it comes to love. So on a deep level, I feel like you're processing something to change your approach to love. Now, as you can see, that Child is on the beach looking at the horizon. So some of you are really wanting to come out of your comfort zone and look elsewhere for love. So if the usual parameters of where you frequent are not yielding any potentials when it comes to love, I definitely see a lot of you maybe want to go traveling, or you want to try new places, new faces, because this is a card of like love is on the horizon, but it always feels like it's out of reach. So it can be that, you're wanting to explore, you're getting curious about love, because some of you have taken yourself out of the dating scene for a while. You have the Stork there. it's in the resistance position. So there's been no new arrivals, no movement in your love life for some time. The stork energy can indicate that, you haven't really, let's put it this way, you haven't really been waiting per se. I feel like you have not prioritized love. You have a lot of responsibility on your shoulders right now, and it can be that you have other things that you're focused on. For some of you, you may literally be guiding the next generation if you're a parent, for example. So that's taken up majority of your time. So it can be that there is an opportunity for you to have space and a breath for yourself and find, a moment for you to connect to love. I mean, love is coming for you, okay? Your outcome energy indicates a high level commitment. So there's definitely love there for you. But as you can see with that love card, the outcome, we've got the ship. So this can be like right now you're creating peace in your world. I'm being given an image of, oh gosh, what are they called? Bowding balls, I think they're called. They're metal balls that are small enough to fit in your hand, and you can kind of like move them around. And they are like for relaxation and stress relief. Okay, feng shui, things like that. I'm just being shown that right now. So some of you, I feel like you're protecting your inner peace at this time, really eradicating drama or toxicity, purifying basically. Some of you, these bowding balls, you may actually see some of them, or maybe gifted some, in the next coming weeks, because I feel it is connected somehow to this new person that you're about to meet. So either there's going to be a conversation about this when you meet this new person, or there is going to be some sort of sign or indication by seeing them, whether it's in the store, whether it's like online, maybe a reel, or in a movie, for example, or maybe you're like hunting through old stuff in the loft, if you have a loft or a garage, for example, and you suddenly find some and you're like, whoa, okay, they're really ornate, really beautiful, but very peaceful, grounding. So a lot of you, this could be symbolic that you're balancing your life, grounding in some way. And as you can see, this figure is on the seashore, okay, is on land. And this ship, of course, is on the high seas. So it can be that some of you, you may look at love as it can be a disruptive force based on previous experiences. Some of you may have had a relationship in the past that got cut short quite quickly there, and it left a very turbulent energy with you that you've been processing for a while. But, this outcome energy tells me that, you're looking further afield. Maybe some of you are literally going on a journey, because I feel a lot of you have been focused on your sense of purpose, but now you're going on the journey of love. Literally, I feel like you're getting involved in those deep, passionate emotions. And, this card literally means either a relocation for some of you. This could be something that's going on in your personal circumstances. This could be in a job. It could be in your living quarters, for example. But this literally means like movement, change, okay? And for some of you, not all of you, there can be this energy of long distance. So I will check in with the Celtic Cross in a moment where you're going to meet this person. But, the stork being in the resistance position, basically like you got it in the reverse, it means there's been no new arrivals. You've been waiting for some time. You feel like your love life has stagnated. But also a lot of you may have withdrawn from the dating scene because you just feel like there's no one out there. I mean, this figure is standing on the seashore and there's just nobody about. So it can be that you feel that love is scarce. There's no one, offering that spark, that passion, that je ne sais quoi that you're looking for in a relationship. But this card will turn into the upright. If you know my readings, anything in the resistance position goes into the upright, which means sudden movement and improvement. So all of your cards are telling me about change. And number 17 is the star energy. So I feel you've been put on pause on purpose in order to heal something about yourself. But also I feel you may have removed yourself in order to focus on family responsibilities or something that you've been prioritizing for yourself. And, it's almost like you're so fed up and exhausted with the dating scene. It's just oversaturated. You just feel like people are transitory. They come and go, maybe a little bit wishy-washy. Nobody looking for a depth of relationship. As you can see, there is this figure, of course, in a very shallow kind of water energy. So it can indicate that, You've been experiencing new people occasionally who come into your life that are not offering you the depth of love that you really require. People who are emotionally available. Some of you may have been meeting people who are very immature or have been just wanting the physical, for example, but you're about to meet someone who has a lot of depth to them. Someone who has met themselves at a very deep level and can meet you there too. Someone who is emotionally available and not afraid to journey into the realm of intimacy and, passion. Water always represents emotions, dreams, goals, the fluidity of the human psyche and emotions and where it takes us. So I feel that, you are either embarking on some sort of travel or you're about to meet a person who is relocating to where you're at right now, if you're not relocating, for example, but it's love. You're on a trajectory right now to start afresh, to start anew, and meet a person who is open for commitment. This is a person who falls in love. They're very passionate, romantic. I mean, it starts off with a crush, is what I'm being given. So I feel there's a lot of spark and chemistry between you both. A lot of flirting going on, but there's more to it. It develops, okay? This is a relationship that has the potential for high-level commitment. A lot of fun, a lot of affection. This person is very tactile as well. Not in a creepy way. I want you to be aware of that. But, when they meet you, they're kind of like, they need a connection, or they kind of like, it's not that they need. I want to really correct myself on that. It's like they're just taking pleasure in the moment and they just feel comfortable enough to just like talk to you and maybe like, stroke an arm or something like that. It's not weird or creepy. It just feels like this person's quite tactile is what I'm seeing there. And I feel like you reciprocate this energy. Both of you get very close quite quickly and it's not too fast is what I'm being given. And as you can see, when you reduce that to 24, 2 plus 4 is 6, the Lovers card and the hearts pretty much speak for themselves. So I do feel you're on a trajectory to meet love. I feel it's not going to be so quick. Okay, that's what I mean. You fall in love at a nice pace, but I feel there's a bond and a closeness that happens quite quickly, a familiarity or like a comfortableness between you both where it's like a crush, but both of you are really just like easy at kind of like exploring it rather than putting a label on it, okay? So it's the dance of love. But because the stork is in the resistance position, it tells me that this is not going to happen like that, okay? It's going to develop. So I want to get to the Celtic cross and see who is coming your way, when, okay? Because this is your overarching energy. It basically means that, a lot of you, if you've taken yourself out of the dating scene for a while or feeling fed up, withdrawn, exhausted, I do see you've got a lot on your plate right now. I do see that you're getting a little bit more curious about love and who's out there. So for some of you, because we do have the stork in the resistance position, it can indicate that some of you have thought about online dating. The bird is of the air, so it can be that for some of you, you may decide to meet a person online. This would work as well as meeting a person in the flesh, okay? So I want you to be aware of that, but let's see. Interesting, we've got 8 of Swords. We've also got an owl that is taking flight, okay? So this can indicate a lot of you have been feeling stuck in your circumstances. 8 of Swords is a card of being in the same place for some time, feeling in a protective kind of mode where you feel like you've reached your limits. And what I mean by that, it basically means that perhaps wherever you live, there's like a limit to new people, meeting new people. Like if you live in a town, for example, it can be the same places, same faces. For some of you, even if it's in a city, you can be like, you know what? There's just a transient energy and you're not really like meeting people consistently in your life. So it can indicate right now that you feel somehow stuck or rooted to the spot, okay? We will tap into that energy in a moment. Your crossing card is the Wheel of Fortune. So that means destiny and fate have a timeline of when you meet this person, and you have not reached the timeline to meet the person. But it's not too far away because on the earthly plane, we have the Lovers card, okay? So this indicates that there is a high-level commitment coming on in here for you. We have the 6 of Wands, another movement card. We have the 3 of Wands, travel, looking ahead, expansion, rapid growth. So I mean, if you have not decided to move or go on a vacation, I feel perhaps this person is relocating to where you're at, or there's some sort of change in circumstances that puts this person in your vicinity. A lot of you are actually going to meet this person in a group activity or some sort of group setting, because the Three of Wands is showing me right now some sort of like gathering or get together of people. Okay, thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. We have the King of Swords. We've got the World card. Some of you are relocating, or there is someone from overseas who is relocating to come towards you. They don't know they're coming towards you yet, but fate and destiny is making them make moves in their life to make sure that they meet you. Okay, so that's something that's coming out. We have the Hierophant, which is a marriage card. We got the Page of Wands. This is a spiritually aligned person, someone who's exciting to be with, passionate, committed, loyal. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides. Ooh, okay, I gotta go get that card, okay? Just scooched there on the floor, so one moment, please. Sorry about that, my beautiful Aries. You got the Star as your final card. So this is a love wish happening. You're aligned with this person, and it is a healthy relationship. I feel, you know, a lot of you are healing from something. The Star energy offers healing for people. So it can indicate that, you know, you are on a trajectory to purify your energy and create space for the right love to come on in. And that's why it's been taking a while there. But your first card is the Eight of Swords. So this can indicate there's no movement at all in your love life. It can indicate that some of you may feel not just that it's difficult, but there's some sort of restriction. You may have felt that the universe has like blocked you from meeting a person at this time. And as you can see, the owl is there, which represents knowledge. So this means that you're rooted to the spot to learn more about yourself, your thoughts, rather than, you know, tearing yourself down during moments of pressure. You're raising yourself up. Now, of course, not every Aries out there has moments of tearing themselves down. I don't feel that at all. But the Eight of Swords can be some sort of like self-imposed restriction there, where, you know, you feel it's time to just give back to self or prioritize one's own needs at this time. But also the fact that we've got an owl there, this can indicate that not just that you're learning more about yourself, but, you know, you're getting a little bit antsy in your circumstances. You're getting a bit restless. You know, whenever you have birds in a card, on a tarot card, it can indicate that you're going to be talking to someone new, but you've been feeling a little bit restless about your circumstances, and you feel called to change something about your current situation. That's why that owl is literally taking flight from a position that perhaps they've been waiting and watching and waiting and watching, because that's the nature of an owl, to witness, to be the observer. So some of you could have been a bit of an observer in your life, that you have been keeping your eyes peeled. You know, this figure is literally standing on the shore looking at the horizon going, nope, nobody out there, nothing happening. No, just the sea, that's it. But suddenly there's a ship on the sea, and it indicates that you are about to meet your destiny. Okay, now the Eight of Swords often kind of nudges us out of a comfort zone to say, look, I need to release myself from denial. I'm not pointing a finger at you, my beautiful Aries, but if you've not been taking action to follow your passions in life, or to, you know, come out of a comfort zone, which would be rare for my beautiful Aries, but sometimes life happens, you know, sometimes we get rooted to the spot. Eight of Swords can indicate some of you have been feeling isolated, alone. You're actually someone who has, you know, a strong support network, you know, but of course you're looking for a companion. So those moments you can feel like a pang of wanting to be with somebody. Doesn't mean that you're lonely. It can indicate that, you know, there's a yearning inside of yourself. So it says here as well, imprisonment and self-victimization. Okay, that's what it says on the card. I'm not feeling that from the card, I gotta be honest, but some of you, it could be that you feel stuck in a rut. Okay, you just feel stuck in a cycle of repeat or a repetitive cycle, and it's just really hard to meet someone new because you're either frequenting the same places, seeing the same faces, and you just want to come out of a funk. Okay, so that's something that's coming out there. Now, the Wheel of Fortune is crossing you, so this can indicate that destiny is going to reveal the path. You're going to meet this person at the right time, in the right place, and it's just going to be out of the blue, okay? But because it's in the crossing position, this Wheel of Fortune, some of you may feel like you've had a bad run of luck in love. Either you've met people who perhaps, you know, wanted to be by your side because of ego. You know, you are an ego rub for them. For some of you, it can be that you're like highly attractive. You're very magnetic there with that Six of Wands. People pay attention to you. Whether you notice it or not, you know, you command an energy of gravitas where people, they just naturally want to know who you are, or they kind of look your way. And I'm getting this energy that some of you may have noticed that people, you know, they really want to get the physical side of you. And I feel like you just want a little bit more depth right now. So what I see here is you are in a period of self-reflection. I mean, the card literally has it there. Some of you, not all of you, of course, but some of you, I have to honor the energy that pops in at every moment. As you can see, this figure is looking in the mirror and there's no reflection. So some of you with that Eight of Swords, you know, the world has changed over the last couple of years, and it could have, you know, had some sort of impact on how you operate in love, what kind of things you want in love in a person that perhaps you didn't even think about many years ago. Some of you may have even felt like you lost a sense of self, you know, especially the playful side. Life has become super serious in the last couple of years. There's a lot of chaos. So it can indicate that some of you have been in a period of trying to rediscover self. Okay, and I'm actually seeing two birds fly in the water there, two birds flying right now. So, I mean, this can indicate that you're going to meet a person who kind of felt the same way, that everything shifted or changed in their life in some way, and you have new perspectives. Two birds flying together often mean like a pair, okay, that you're going to be in a relationship with a person. But it says here, fate, karma, and fortune. So a lot of you have been changing your fortune, but you can't run away from fate. I feel like you're going to meet this person when the divine timing is accurate. And, you know, as I said, I feel like it's not quick, but I feel like it's not too far away. I feel, you know, looking at the energy that you got, even in the like 6 weeks position, you've got the King of Swords. So this can indicate someone that, you know, is new in your life. You have started to talk to someone. It just feels easy. It feels like you're also taking action to do something that brings you joy, something that you're passionate about. You may even have a friend who kind of like invites you to something. I'm going to pull a card on this because I'm also getting an energy of one of your friends kind of trying to set you up with someone. Okay, so that's coming through. Because of that Three of Wands and the Six of Wands, I feel like they've shown your photo to somebody. And this person's like, I really want to meet that Aries. So let me just pull a quick card on that. Thanks so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Aries? Now, your friend may not have told you about this just yet, but you may get an invite to something, and there's going to be just someone new there. You may find out on the day, but Five of Cups, oof, okay. Looking at the energy, I feel like you're not really about this person. Five of Cups can indicate that you let this person down gently, okay? And it's to allow this new love in. I mean, destiny is going to put you in the path to meet this new person. So if your friend is inviting you to an event or inviting you to meet a person, absolutely enjoy the moment. This person may be a new friend for life, but I feel with that Five of Cups that you are really like releasing this person. You're kind of like, oh, they're really lovely, but they just don't have that spark, okay? Nothing wrong with the person. I feel like they're an awesome person, but I just feel like it's not yielding the relationship that you are desiring. I feel the universe is going to usher that in. If you know the Five of Cups, you'll know that the figure on the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot is kind of like lamenting 3 cups that have spilt. Okay, so it can indicate that you kind of like lost your taste for love for some time due to some sort of experience where it was disappointing, or you felt let down, or you're heartbroken and you've been grieving a situation for some of you. But love is going to find you. You know, 2 cups are ushered in from the universe behind the figure. And if only the figure would turn around, they would see that love is actually being offered. So I feel it's the same with this, you know, friend who tries to like set you up with someone. I feel like you're kind of like built up thinking, oh, okay, this person, I'm excited to meet them. That's if your friend tells you that you're going to meet this person, because some of you may just find out on the day and realize, is this a setup? Okay, so that's something that's coming out. But if your friend tells you in advance, I feel there could be this kind of like buildup of energy, like, okay, I'm excited to meet this person. And then when you meet this person, you're like, oh, so close, but it's just not it. Okay, so I feel after that, that's when you meet the one. Okay, so that's coming through there. With that Five of Cups there, some of you because I am basically clarifying the Wheel of Fortune. Some of you may be grieving your old life or grieving a part of yourself that you feel like somehow you've lost touch with, but you're rediscovering that. And that's why you're called into your single energy right now to discover more about yourself and rediscover those parts of yourself before sharing your life with another. But destiny is putting you in the path to meet this new person, and it is going to be a really nice surprise, okay? I do feel that you're still with your friends or in a group of people when you meet this new person. I feel it's something definitely connected to travel, because we've got the Three of Wands there, we've got the World card. Some of you may be relocating, emigrating, or going on a vacation, or maybe it's something that you've booked and you're looking forward to. And if not, I feel it is this person relocating or emigrating or doing something that puts them in the path to meet you. And this will be a topic of conversation when you meet this person. Now, on the earthly plane, we have the Lovers card. So, I mean, come on. You have the hearts and the Lovers card. So this is definitely indicating that you're going to be in a high level commitment. Love is coming on in for you. And, you know, the Lovers card highlights choices. So it is opposing the Three of Wands. And that's why I was picking up on your friend kind of trying to set you up, especially because the Six of Wands is an indication that you stand out and you are someone that a friend has shown a photograph of to a third party. That's what I'm seeing, but we've already addressed that. I feel like you're going to move on from that experience. Of course, if there's a spark with that person, definitely explore it, but you will be on a path where you will have an option either to let that person go with love and embrace a new love, or, you know, whether you decide to settle down with that person, that's your prerogative. But I'm just giving you the energy that there is someone new coming into your life that I feel like you meet all by yourself, but in a group of people. So whether your friend's saying, hey, should we go on a road trip on Friday? And you're like, yeah, I'm down with that. Let's do it. And then you go to like a new town, you're seeing new historical places and experiencing things. Suddenly you may meet a person there. It can be literally that spontaneous. However, you know, it is this kind of like, how can I put that? It's like this crush energy where both of you are like, whoa, who's this? And there's a little bit of flirtation going on, but it develops into something more. And it's like an exchange of details, meeting up, you know, suddenly it is a thing. And I feel organically, you're not even going to have to put a label on it. The label is just there. Both of you just commit to each other because you don't kind of like have any energy for anybody else. But also I feel you're so locked onto each other. You know, when you have those conversations that go on like hours and hours with a person and it feels like minutes. That's the sort of energy you're going to have with this new person. Suddenly, you know, the coffee store is closing, everybody's left, and you and this person didn't even notice because you're both in each other's world and no one else exists. So that's the sort of energy person you're drawing into your life right now. And, you know, the Lovers card, it used to be called the choice card. So I do feel that you have a choice, okay? And I've mentioned your choices so far. But it says here, union and love. So yeah, you're definitely vibing at a frequency to be in a high level commitment. Now, oh my gosh, I'm getting like, I'm getting a song with this person and I'm like, where is this song going? But anyway, I have to give you what I get. I can hear a song. It's actually quite a famous song that I think has been covered many times, but I feel like I'm being given the original version of it. I'll just give you the lyrics. I'm just a love machine and I won't work for nobody but you. Okay, so, well, that's good to know. But this person, I get more than that from this song. I actually feel this person's quite cheeky. I feel like this person's quite adventurous. They're flirtatious, but actually they have a really super loyal heart, this person. And I mean, the band who sang that song, it was called The Miracles. Okay, so the fact that you had the Wheel of Fortune and the star energy, I feel like you're going to be delivered a wish. Like, you know, the most perfect person for you is coming into your life. Listen out for that song. When you hear that song, it doesn't matter the version of that song, but I'm being given the original version, so I hope you hear that one. When you hear that, this is a signpost from the universe that you're about to meet this person, okay? And they're more than just a love machine, okay? I feel this person actually is true blue. They are strong enough to walk by your side. They're not afraid of like public displays of affection. So if you don't like that, you may need to like calm them down right at the beginning. They really will respect that. But as I mentioned earlier, this person's quite tactile. I feel like they want to hold your hand in public. They want to give you a cheeky kiss occasionally to let you know what, I'm thinking about you, or you really like connect to me in a way like no one else does. So I feel this person's like super passionate. That's what's coming through, okay? So listen out for that song. Now, in the past position, we have the Six of Wands. So this can indicate a lot of you are focused on your sense of purpose, you know. Also, if some of you have been in hermit mode or had a lot of responsibilities where you feel like you've just like hidden away for a little while, been off grid, the Six of Wands is a little nudge from the universe to allow yourself to be seen. I mean, I feel like you're noticed already. You get a lot of attention. You may not notice it yourself, but people look at you. They give you double takes. You know, they give you side eyes. They give you kind of like that little nod as you're walking down the sidewalk. I feel you garner attention. That's what I'm being given. I mean, Six of Wands is also a card of stepping into the limelight and being an influencer in your circumstances. To go from the Eight of Swords, which is to feel rooted and stuck to the spot or feel like nothing is happening, suddenly there's like a revamp of energy. So some of you may have even been called recently, especially over the last couple of weeks, because as we entered your birthday season, you may have felt called to like make some additions to your wardrobe, for example, or try a new style, or kind of like revamp in some way because your first house of identity was triggered during that period. So this is like a card that highlights that you are someone who is going to be noticed. Let's put it that way. And it says here, victory, success, and public reward. So, I mean, that's why I feel you're going to meet someone all by yourself. You're in a group of people, but I feel like you're naturally, organically going to attract a person because I feel like you're out and about in the public eye at that point. So it could be a festival, could be an event overseas or traveling or a quick trip somewhere. I really feel you're moving outside a usual parameter. That's what I can see there. Also, my guides are giving me a sentence that is connected to these two cards. So reeling me back a little bit there, but my guides are giving me, go forth and explore. You won't see much if you keep the shore always in sight. You know, you will have choices, and this is not a time to be fearful. This is a time for you to kind of like embrace the journey in some way. Also, it can indicate that someone close to you, like, has a hidden agenda, and I've already picked up that energy that the hidden agenda is that they want you to meet somebody that they think is right for you because they're so surprised that you're single, okay? Because you're awesome and you have a lot to give. You are very lovable and passionate, kind, and I'm not just blowing smoke up here, you know what. You know, that's what's coming out in the energy. So this is time for you to explore, allow yourself to be seen. And this is the influencer card. So some of you may have suddenly decided to influence your circumstances by booking events. Or, I mean, for some of you, I'm not really getting the invitation kind of like vibe from your reading, but you could receive an invitation. I just don't feel it. I feel it's something that you decide you want to go to with friends. Okay, I mean, I guess if a friend says, hey, do you want to go here? That's kind of an invitation, but I don't feel it's like official. Okay, so that's something that's coming out. In your potential position, we have the Three of Wands, which is expanding your horizons. It literally means that you're on the right path to meeting the one. You know, there's an opportunity. There's an expanse of opportunities, actually, but there's going to be one person who captures your heart. You know, this card can indicate something that you've been planning or something that, you know, you've been envisaging for some time. I'm also like hearing like whistling. So I'm not really sure if that's being caught on the camera. Maybe this person and you talk about whistling when you first meet. I'm not sure. So I'm just going to move on from that energy, but when it comes through, I'll always mention things. It says here, looking ahead, expansion, and rapid growth. So as you can see, this figure is like fabulous, okay? Wild and free and just embracing their wild side. So I definitely see here, you know, this can be that you are deciding to make a move in some area. Traditionally, the Three of Wands, a figure is like standing on the seashore, like it's on a cliff really, looking at the sea, and it's golden. So there's opportunities there. And of course, they're holding one wand in their hand and two wands are behind them. So this can indicate that you have experience in love, and you had to let go of some of those experiences, or you feel that they let you down. You've got a past, okay? And you're putting that past right behind you and embracing the future. So I would say this is setting yourself free in some way to basically embrace your passions, and you've been going through a period of rapid growth and you're looking ahead now. You're not looking to the past. And what's in your 6 weeks position, we've got the King of Swords. Now, the King of Swords is a thinker, but also a doer. So I feel something you've been thinking about, you're going to action in your life. But also, King of Swords always connects to what's in your mind, you can have in your hand. Manifestation is the key. Now, if you always feel like, oh, I'm never going to meet anybody, then of course, to some degree, you're going to be right, because you lose the onus or the emphasis on trying to put yourself in positions to meet people, okay? Whether that's online dating. Some of you are actually going to meet a person online, okay? If you go on an online app or even a chat forum, it's connected to this card. But some of you, because I'm getting two energies, I got to be honest with you, and I'll pull a card there, but it could be that you meet someone on a trip, or you meet someone and then you keep in contact via email, text, phone calls, something that's connected to the ether, because swords are always connected to the air, and that was coming up in your overarching energy as well. But it could be that you decide to go online dating, okay? So what it says here is head over heart, clear truth and discipline. And as you can see, we have two jellyfish there, two people who are like not attaching like an emphasis on where this is going. It's like naturally, organically, you flow together. There's great conversation here. I really feel like you could be talking to someone new in the next 6 weeks. So let me just pull a quick card on that. Now, this could be someone who has their own business. They're a very responsible person. This is a person that's showing up in your energy. I feel this person could actually be a very powerful person, someone who has status, someone who has clout in some area. It could be in the legal profession for this person. It doesn't have to be, but it can be, or it can be that they are very prestigious. For some of you, not all of you, because we have the Six of Wands and the Star and the King of Swords, I would say for some of you, this person, they may be in the public eye, or maybe some sort of influencer. Some of you, my beautiful Aries, could also be an influencer. And the King of Swords can be that this person, they don't like their public knowing their private life. Okay, so it can be that, they are not like their public persona, as it were. So either they create a character, or for some of you, it could be that they run their own business, for example, and they have an affinity with their customers or client base or subscribers or whatever it is that this person does. And it can be that, that's quite a detached energy. But when you get to know this person, they're actually really like soft and pure and loving and kind. I mean, they're certainly honest. King of Swords, this person is brutal with the truth, okay? They will tell you how it is. And we've got, to clarify, Six of Wands, Knight of Cups. So this person, Six of Wands, this is always, as I said, the influencer card. You've got it, they've got it. So it's like star power, even if you don't want to be in the public eye, or, you're currently like retired, or whatever your circumstances are. Six of Wands indicates that you and this person, you're a great influence on each other. Knight of Cups, this person is in love with you. It can be that both of you kind of only have eyes for each other. You both have a lot of beauty about you. And I'm not just talking aesthetically. I feel like you have beautiful hearts, beautiful minds. And it is a heart and mind kind of like connection where both of you just meet each other on all levels. Also, the Six of Wands can be to overcome obstacles. So what I'm getting here is like great distances and great oceans could never keep you and this person apart, ever. I know that sounds really wildly romantic, but that's what I'm being given in this particular reading, where nothing would ever keep you and this person apart. When you meet each other, it's for keeps, okay? So I would say with that Knight of Cups, romantic, sensitive person, someone who's very refined, okay? Also, I feel there's two energies attached to this. One is, of course, the secret admirer that your friend is going to try and set you up with. But I feel the majority of you, this is you meeting a person who basically you feel an instant attraction for this person. And I feel, there's just this like banter between you both. It's almost like both of you have this wild imagination that when you see situations, you kind of like, I don't want to say it like this, but I have to. It's like you narrate a situation. So it could be that you and this person like are talking together, and then you watch something that's going on like over there with other people, and then it's like creating voices or a funny situation which could be happening over there. It's like narrating it from like a funny point of view. Just some really random banter is what I'm being given. So I just feel like this person makes you laugh. They make you laugh so hard, and vice versa. And it's just this wonderful spark. Now, your advice to yourself in this moment, we got the World card, which of course is to come into balance, okay? But also the World card is to focus on your goals. And I mean, it can also be traveling, of course, or emigrating. A lot of you are learning personal lessons right now as well. And it says here, fulfillment, harmony, and completion. So this is about you feeling fulfilled within yourself first, okay? Of course, as you can see, that is a pregnant lady there. So this could be you like birthing new ideas. It could be you nourishing yourself or nurturing yourself in a different way. For some of you, it could be that you're guiding children, or you've had responsibilities that you've had to adhere to for some time. But it can be that, there is a cycle of change occurring where you have a little bit more time for yourself. The World card partnered with the Wheel of Fortune, these are two cycle cards, which basically mean you're going to be in the right place at the right time to meet this person, and they are the right one. So, that's in the wrong position there. Because the World card is in this position, it tells me that you are getting closure or have shut down a past situation that you do not want to revisit. You're looking ahead only, not backwards at all, especially since that Three of Wands there as well. Now we have the Hierophant. Oof. Now the Hierophant can indicate for some of you, there's marriage on the cards. This is a marriage card, okay? So you are going to meet a person that you really contemplate settling down with and perhaps exchanging vows. So that's your prerogative. Some of you may be like, nope, not getting married, but that's your call. I feel like this person would never pressure you into something that you didn't want to do. So it will be a joint decision if you decide to do that in the future. But also, thank you so much. I'm so grateful. My guys just said, you just look good together. There was just this like really intense kind of like gushing from my guys. I was like, you just look good together. Okay. So that's coming through. But also it's more than that. There is a bond, there's a connection, and the Hierophant can indicate that, there is a traditional relationship involved here, but also either this person is a spiritual teacher or mentor, or they do things to help other people. There's something about this person where they calm people down, or they kind of like de-stress people, stress relief. I mean, they could be a masseuse, for example, or they could be, I'm just being given no. They're a good masseuse, but they're not that as a profession. That's what's come through. But it could be that this person, maybe that's why I saw the Bowding balls earlier. This person has a calming influence over people, and it could be something that they do for a job, for example. What else am I getting from this? Okay, I'm also being given this energy of like teaching or mentoring, or you may learn something where you meet this person. So it could be that if you're going on like some sort of quick trip somewhere, it could be a historical trip, or it could be that you take like a little trip, what do you call them, like little excursion with a group of people, like a walking tour, for example, or some sort of like excursion to the mountains or to the cenotes, or somewhere where there's like a little group activity. So it could be through that if you're taking some sort of travel. If not, some of you could literally be putting yourself on a course of learning, upskilling, or even like learning more about yourself, self-improvement, or finding a way to declutter your life, or connect to like yoga, Pilates, something that really enhances you body, mind, and soul. And it could be that you have to travel a little bit out of town, or you have to travel a little bit outside your usual parameters when it comes to going to this. Because I feel like you are not in a usual place when you meet this person. You may go to this group with a friend. Okay, so I'm just giving you options of what's coming through regarding meeting this person. But the hope and a fear, we've got the Page of Wands. Now, of course, you're hoping for a spark. You're hoping for chemistry. You're hoping for someone who is bold and daring like you, someone who's exciting to be with, and you're going to get that, okay? Because the Page of Wands has shown up, which means this person is like exciting, they're fun, they're curious about life, they want to explore. And I feel you and this person are going to have wild adventures together, but also, you know, you're going to be so locked in and tight as a relationship. Now, of course, you want loyalty. That's a given, of course, but also I feel this is someone who's got a lot of energy, someone who's looking for a commitment, and I feel these are things that perhaps you're hoping for. Someone who's supportive, you know, not someone who comes in trying to fix things for you, but someone who is supportive, thoughtful, who lends, you know, a supportive ear during times when life gets a little bit challenging. You're not asking for someone to come and save you or like fix things for you. You're looking for a team member, someone who's like there and says, it's you and me, baby, against the world kind of energy. And I feel that's what you're going to get with this person, okay? As you can see, we've got Bastet there, okay? And it's double Bastet. It's like, if you know Bastet, Bastet basically is a protector, you know, of the sacred sanctuary. And it can be that some of you have been in a protective mode for some time, either healing a heartbreak or maybe, you know, healing a grieving experience from your life. And I'm sending you a huge hug out there. So much love if that's you. But what I see here is you're meeting someone who is very alike you. The fear here, of course, would be someone who perhaps has no get up and go, who kind of like just stays in one place and, you know, doesn't like to be curious or, you know, bold or daring or immature, basically. Someone who perhaps does not give to the relationship in the same way, one-sidedness or selfishness, for example. So that's coming out there. But I definitely see here you're not going to meet that sort of person. You're meeting someone who's more in alignment with your wish. I really want you to see there, it's like these two oyster shells opening up. So I feel you and this person, you know, you don't let everybody in. This person you're about to meet, they're quite private actually, but you get in, okay? And I feel you both kind of like share an affinity for things, and there's a lot of feeling there. Both of you have been shaped under pressure. That's what a gem is. Because there's a pearl there, as you can see, it can indicate that both you and this new person, you've been through some stuff, and life was challenging, but it made you who you are, and you are valuable. If you think about the nature of a pearl, a lot of value there. And this is about you learning about your own worth and valuing it, but also recognizing that you are a true gem, you're a gift, and you deserve a gift when it comes to love. So I feel like you're meeting an equal here in this relationship. And it says here, hope, faith, and rejuvenation. So this love will literally rejuvenate you, but I actually feel this is more about your energy, aligning you with curiosity to see who's out there and put you in the path to meet this new person, okay? So I would definitely say a love wish coming on in. I'm just going to go and get some final cards for you before I close your reading. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Aries? What do they need to know? So we have rejection. As I said, you're going to have to let someone down. Okay, so even with another deck, there is an indication here. We have support and respect. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Aries? What else do they need to be aware of? We have guarded heart. I feel it's like both of you, okay? Both of you been shielding in some way, protective measure. We've also got memories and we've got passion. Definitely, but it's going to be more than that. I want you to be aware of that, okay? So we've got rejection there. You're going to turn somebody down, okay? Some of you could be healing a rejection as well. We do have support. As I mentioned, this person's quite tactile. You know, they're going to be the sort of person to hold your hand, okay? They're actually very chivalrous as well. Manners are important to this person. It says here respect, another kind of hand-holding thing going on here. We've also got guarded, okay, so shielding the heart. I feel this person is actually very protective of love in general, but it can indicate that, you know, you're a little bit cautious in love based on your previous experiences, but you've been turning your life around right now. A lot of stars in these cards as well that connects to the star card. We have memories, so I definitely see a lot of you have been reflecting on the past, but know that you are going to build new memories when it comes to love. And this person, I mean, because we do have that Hierophant there, it is a legacy card. So either you or this person, there's something about being remembered, like honored. Maybe this person's won awards, or you have, or maybe you're about to win some awards. I'm just getting this energy of being honored for something. But this could be a topic of conversation between you and this new person when you meet. You talk about awards, okay? And we've also got passion. So yeah, there's someone coming in that has a spark. It will lead to more. You know, this person's still very hands-on there, really connecting to that song, The Love Machine, but it's more than that. You know, this is about two people who are physically attracted to each other and sharing space and intimacy. But there's more, there's a depth to it, okay? So I'm just going to go and get a trinket or ring before we close. Okay, we just got... So we got the elephant there. So this can indicate, of course, you're not going to forget about your past, but you're removing any obstacles that it may have thrown up on your path that you needed to resolve before you could move forward. Elephants have a lot of empathy, okay? So this can indicate that you're meeting someone who has been through some stuff like you, and there is an empathy there as well. Normally, there's a little heart on the ear, but this elephant has like a beautiful ear there. So I feel like this person is a very good listener as well. Elephants may be relevant, maybe a sign. And we have the moon phases, okay? So this connects to the High Priestess. So an instant bond between you and this person, but also, you know, this can indicate you've been in a period of review, opening up the door to your subconscious mind, which helps you reprogram something. It can be that, you know, you're basically asking yourself first thing in the morning and last thing at night, you know, how am I going to show up for myself today? What do I need to cut out from my life that has been hurting me? Or even reminding yourself of things that you don't want to experience. And maybe you're going to be focusing more on the things you do want to experience right now. So you are rewriting your personal narrative at this time. And a lot of you may connect to this person via your faith or religion. My readings are not really about that. But, you know, if you're celebrating a faith or religion, it can be that there's some sort of activity that draws you together. But I feel the moon phases are important. So I'm being given an energy here of you meeting this person on a waning moon. Okay, so that's coming through there. So whether that's just the first meeting or just becoming conscious of this person's presence in your life, that's something that's coming through there, okay? So I'll leave it there. I hope something resonates in this reading for you, my beautiful Aries. Thank you so much, and love and light.